Guys, Robot1 here, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video, and in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video we are going to be talking about something near and dear to all of our hearts, and that's the nostalgia we have in the game. So, be it many different things in the game that keep you playing, that's kept you playing, that you remember from your childhood, this is going to just be talking about some of the things that we all had as nostalgia growing up as children from playing the game. So, be you watched the anime, be it you just played the game when you were a child, be it that you begged your parents for cards at the store, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, let's get into it, because I want to talk about this. It's a very cool thing to talk about, and it's just good to remember what our childhoods were like. So, let's get into it. So, first thing, if you were a child playing this game back in the year 2002, 2001, you know about the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. Oh yeah, Droro! Monster card! It's a monster card though, but it's a Linka card though. It's a Linka card though, yes, it's a very good, Droro! Monster card though as well. This is just a pile of cards that I grabbed, to be honest, guys. I summon, Neos, Elemental Heroes, Necro Neos? No, Chaos Neos. Elemental Hero Chaos Neos. Your move. But yeah, if you were young playing the game and you were like, you just play it, you watched the anime, like you watched the anime when you were younger. Like if you had Cartoon Network, if you had Nickelodeon, if you had any of those, you watched the anime when you were younger. And honestly, that's one of the most nostalgic things to think about when you're thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, what, like, you can, honestly, just, like, be it remembering Yugi saying, Monster Cardo, Doro, Monster Cardo, Doro, Monster Cardo, or it being Yugi saying, Exodia, Obliterate, or anything like that, or even Kaiba ripping up the first the fourth Blue Eyes White Dragon, or be it Jaden getting his Karibo from Atem himself. Like, the anime has a big part in the game. Like, I remember so much from my childhood. Like, I was like, honestly, I couldn't even go to bed without watching the anime. Like, literally, I would not leave the living room until I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! That was on at, like, it was at 7, and then it moved to 8, and even though it moved to 8, I refused to go to bed without watching it. Like, it was something that I wanted to watch so bad, because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed carrying on with it. Then later on, I got the internet in my house and just watched it online, but I still watched it on the TV. Like, I still watched every episode on the TV every day, be it Yu-Gi-Oh! GX on ITV, the children's channel in Britain, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's CITV, or be it on Nickelodeon when it was late, like either early mornings or late nights. I watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, and even the 5Ds era, like, I've gone through a few of the old dual discs. Like, literally when I was younger, I had, like, I think I've gone through a total of 4 of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual discs. I've got a GX dual disc somewhere. Like, I loved the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, and honestly, and I still have this dual disc right here, as you can see, and just thinking about the nostalgia from the past, from the anime that you got from having something like this. Like, if you had one of these, like, I even remember when I got my first dual disc. The first dual disc I ever had was the Chaos dual disc used by the Seal of Orichalcos. And my dad got me that for Christmas, and I was just so excited and everything like that. So remembering stuff like that, just having the nostalgia to remember things from the anime, being drawn to it, and just saying Monster Cardo if you knew about the Japanese back then, or draw monster card, Weevil's now dead. Or you even remember when Weevil threw all 5 pieces of Exodia off the boat, and you knew from that moment on, Weevil was a dick. Weevil was a dick. And honestly, that's one of the best things of my childhood from the nostalgia, to be honest. Like, just having the dual disc, just having the ability to play. And to be honest, guys, I got really lucky in getting this dual disc as well. I got this dual disc for £10 actually, with a GX dual disc. when I went to my locals and a guy was quitting the game, and I was like 12 at the time, and I had £10, and the guy said, okay, I'll sell you the dual disc for a tenner. I don't need these. And he was like, and like this if you want to get through this from Japan, brand new, I believe they're really expensive. Like when I checked years ago, it was like near to £100 just to get one, and just being able to get one at the age of 12, when I was just wanting to play the game and thinking that this was necessary to play the game. Like literally, when I went to look for my first locals, had one of these in me, thinking that this is how you actually play the game. And it's that's nostalgia for you right there. That is the nostalgia of the game. Just thinking the anime, just remembering what childhood you got. And there's also other areas of nostalgia as well. Like, I remember when I was in school, like when I was in primary school, we had one day of the year where we could bring in cards, bring in just all the toys we want, the toy day. And before the first toy day I ever had, I saw that Yu-Gi-Oh cards were real. I saw that, like, I didn't know that Yu-Gi-Oh cards actually, No, that's a lie, because I actually got my first starter deck. One of the most nostalgic parts of my life is I got my first Yu-Gi-Oh starter deck with the original Dark Magician, the original artwork, him in the circle thing. It's not a pentagram because there's not the star in it, but I remember getting my first starter deck on the way to a park, begging my mum, can I have some money? Going in, getting the starter deck, coming out, my mum sees the deck and makes me throw it away. My first ever Yu-Gi-Oh cards were thrown away. I was livid, and like that's one of the more nostalgic things in the game as well. Remembering the first cards you got. The first cards you got, the first ever cards I owned were thrown away. Like, we were walking to the park, and my family's religious as hell. This is why it happened, why they were thrown away. But ever since then, even though it was thrown away, my passion for Yu-Gi-Oh still burned. It burned greater than ever. I still wanted to play the game. Over the years, my dad still bought me cards. For my birthday, I remember getting the water dragon and the Pyro Lion Fire Beast thing, starter decks with in like the combination box. I remember getting random cards. I even remember bad times in the game as well, when I snuck cards into school. Like, I had 3 Egyptian god cards, guys. Like, this is another thing. I had 3 Egyptian god cards, all 3 of them, and I took them into school. Teacher took them away. Went to the head office. End of the year. I don't have any You lost my Egyptian god cards. How dare you? But guys, literally, the nostalgia of when you get your first cards, the nostalgia of when you lose cards, like nostalgia of the anime, and even nostalgia of just playing with your friends when you're younger. Like, honestly, there are people who never saw the anime. There are people who got into the game because of their friends and then encountered the anime later. And that's something, when you're a child, is really, really interesting. Like, there's so many interesting things. Like, I remember a lot of things that I had when I was younger. Like, I remember a lot of cards. Like, I played Beyblade when I was younger. I played Pokemon. Well, I didn't really play Pokemon the card game. I had a few cards. Like, it wasn't something I was really interested in. Like, I did watch the cartoon, but the anime, but it wasn't really something I was into. I had Duel Masters. I played Chaotix for a brief time. Lego. Like, I did a lot of things, but the thing that always stuck to me, the thing that I always cherished from my childhood, was Yu-Gi-Oh! And the nostalgia that I get from Yu-Gi-Oh! Thinking back to the first time I watched the anime, watching the new anime, having a dual disc, or just being able to get something like this is nostalgia. This is what you remember. This is the past that you know. And thinking about it, just remembering it, just believing it, and just being able to use it, it's amazing. It's great. It feels amazing. And honestly, guys, it feels so good to actually know that your nostalgia is still there. Thinking back to when you first played with your friends. Like, the first time I played with my friends was on the free toy day. Bringing your toy day. The first Yu-Gi-Oh cards I ever got was the original Yu-Gi starter deck. Yeah, it got thrown away in the bin, but it was still really good. It was good to know that I had those cards, at least at some point, having an original Yu-Gi starter deck. Like, yeah, it got thrown away, and I got really, really mad and upset, and I was I was a child and my mum made me throw it away even though she just spent £10, and I remember back then I was so upset and even just demanding to stay in the living room and just watch the cartoon. Like, I would not calm down. I was going to watch that anime. I'm not gonna bed into it. Watch the anime. You're not stabbing me. You're not. No. Just all of that. Just remembering what kept me in the game, what brought me to the game, and just remembering even like I remember my first tournament, like my first official Yu-Gi-Oh tournament ever. M&M Games, when I was, I believe, 13, 14, I had Heroes. Heroes were my favorite deck. It's the first deck I ever played. Well, it's the first proper deck that I ever really had. I had Heroes. And I went into a locals. The deck was garbage. The deck was rubbish. It was complete and utter trash. But I enjoyed myself. I had fun. Like the first time like the original times I was playing in school with with a friend called Christian, who he's still a friend of mine. I don't really see him often. He's kind of left the game, but he played the game. We played the game together. We had fun together. And like other children that I knew in school who had this nerdy fashion to play this game, it's just like remembering your nostalgia, remembering the roots, the nostalgia of Yu-Gi-Oh! Be it your first time you played the game, be it the first cards you ever had, be it the first time you watched the anime, be it the experiences that you had, be it any of that. Nostalgia in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a drive. It keeps you in the game, it reminds you of your past, and it reminds you of how everything was. And guys, honestly, that's what I wanted this video to be. I wanted it to be something for you guys to try and remember the first time you watched the anime, the first cards you ever got, the first duel or game you ever played. That's what I wanted this video to be. I wanted it to be you to remember your roots in the game, and I wanted it to be something like this. And even though those times are gone when you could just flip Mirror Force, destroy every monster your opponent controls, or normal summon, or just have fusion deck and main deck. Like, I remember a fusion deck. Like, I remember when there was a fusion deck. I remember when the zone was purple. I remember, you should remember too, that it was originally purple. But that's the future, that's the past, that's the nostalgia in the game, and that's just what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Like, I wanted to give you guys some of my past in the game, I wanted to give you guys to some nostalgia of your own, and I wanted to remind you guys of things that you had in the past as well. But yeah guys, so if your cards were taken by teachers, if you started the game watching anime, if your first deck was maybe thrown away, or you still have your first cards, or you remember the first card you ever got, or anything like that, tell me in the comment section below. Tell me all of your past. Well, you don't have to tell me that, but start talking about your history. Start talking about how you started playing the game. Start remembering what you did in the game. But yeah guys, this has been a really fun video to do, just talking about my past, just talking about nostalgia in the game, like the anime, the first game you played, the cards you played, the first cards you ever got. It's brought back memories. But yeah guys, without further ado, this is the discussion of Yu-Gi-Oh! Nostalgia. Tell me all of your thoughts in the comment section below about my Yu-Gi-Oh! History. Tell me some of your Yu-Gi-Oh! History if you find it funny. Tell me anything you thought was funny in this video, or maybe you want to hear some old Yu-Gi-Oh! Stories from my past, and if you do, tell me that in the comment section below as well, because I'll do some Yu-Gi-Oh! Past for videos of me. Maybe I'll give you the full talk about how I had my first Yu-Gi-Oh! card stolen, or something like that. But yeah guys, yeah, if you want to hear any of that, tell me that in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video and liked it, or gave you some memories of your past, don't forget to like the video. If you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos, discussions, deck profiles, duel videos, don't forget to press the subscribe button as well to be subscribed for that kind of content. And if you want to be notified of any of that content, or streams that I do normally 8 PM UK time on a Thursday, don't forget to press the notification button as well. But guys, this has been the past. This is the nostalgia, and guys, reminiscing is great. And without further ado, Droro Monster Cardo! Robot1 signing out. Later, guys.